All right, we've got some harps from a friend overseas. Sent us a mess harps. Now, I do not remember exactly what's in here. I know there's some Babaev. There might be some Volgitov. Who knows what this is? Some of the harder to find stuff. Some stuff we've never tried before. Some stuff we've seen before. Let's see what we've got in here. I don't even remember. It's been a while since I ordered this. Let's see what we got. There's a mess of harps in here. Oh, dude, I know exactly what these are. These are Vakitov standard kubis, and I think these are Babaev small melodic. Oh, dude, these things are so melodic. Let's see what's all in here. Gotta feel I won't play every single standard kubis, and I'm not going to play every single Babaev, but I'm gonna play a couple of them. What do we have here? Oh, dude. Oh, some Khomus from the Saha Republic, which have been super hard to get. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, dude. Shepelev Khomus from the Saha Republic. Cool. It's a treat. I didn't even remember what exactly was all here. Short break to go upstairs. The harps had arrived with a thick coating of oil on them, which is great for keeping harps from rusting, but it just wasn't something that the Mighty Mist was going to take care of. So let's see what we got here. I'm going to start off with these here. And these will be the large Volgitov. Oh, somebody's playing a drum upstairs. My son is. These are the large Volgitov or big Volgitov. I'm seeing nice gaps, slight relief at the end, pretty tight gaps, nice relief at the end. Let's check the compression. Oh, that compression's nice. It's going to be a stable able, I bet. Let's check the other one. The other big Volgitov. Nice gaps, relief at the end. Check the compression. Compression on this one's decent. The other one actually had near perfect compression. Let's see where we're at here. Around a B1, about 39 cents below it. That's actually probably pretty near to 432 hertz scale. Done. Let's see if it's 432 hertz scale. About 8 cents under B1, 432 hertz scale. So I'd say it's a 432 hertz B1. Really loud. I'd say strong sound in both directions. Pretty sensitive. That's a nice Russian Vargan. Little bit of outer space. A little bit of robot going on there. Like that. Let's try the other Volgitov and then some of these other harps, the Babaev, the Vakitov. Really excited about those. Let's see where we're at with the other Volgitov large or Volgitov big. Perfect B1, 432 hertz scale. A little bit more robotic tones I'm getting out of this one. Yeah, outer space. Really nice play on the outward stroke. Yeah, good sensitive harps. Pretty saturated that one is. Let's try that. I really like how he does his reeds there. They sit pretty well flush, like it's almost made from one piece. Although it is not. Let's try. Now we're going to try. Let's try some of the Vakitov. They're now on the Vakitov on the Tartar Kubis. Now there's two different makers in Tartar. There's Mustafin and Vakitov. Vakitov's the one I've featured in videos before. We have the large and we have the small. Let's try the small one. Now, in general, these harps, I think I washed off 2 of the smalls just to get a grip on what they are. I'm going to switch my tuner. I use a Tonal Elite tuner. I'm going to switch it back to 440 hertz. I like this tuner. They don't pay me to say this, but Mark Groudon actually suggested it to me, this tuner, and I really, really like it. So let's try the Vakitov Tartar Standard Kubies. Now what we have here is it's probably the metric equivalent, but it's about 3/16 inch key stock. This is a bent frame harp. They have a teardrop shaped trigger. The gaps on this are really tight, really good compression on this one. Perfect G2. Definitely better play on the toward stroke. Really melodic, nice bell ring. Nice sparkle. Really sensitive, nice melodic tone. I'm getting a little bit of clicking there. So on harps like this, make sure you're not putting too much pressure because the gaps on this little harp are super tight. Let's play the other Vakitov standard Kubies and see how it sounds and plays. Still same shape. The nice recurved teardrop. So it's probably going to be an inward, a toward player. And really tight gaps. Really good compression. Oh, ooh. And we're going to try to get these as often as we can because we're trying to have more affordable melodic harps because a lot of harps that are really good for melodic style play are oftentimes more expensive. These are not super fancy, but good, really good sound. Because just because a harp's fancy and has a whole bunch of engravings on it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be melodic. And just because a harp's not fancy doesn't mean that it can't have awesome sound. So let's try the Babaev. Now, Babaev is really well known throughout the world for, as a Russian maker, for making harps with really good melodic tone. His Munarp, his morchang style he makes, pretty much anything he makes has really good tone. Now, he recently started coming out with these. These are his bent frame. These are not, a lot of his harps you get from him are forged. He's now come out with bent frame harps that are supposed to be really good for melodic. So we have a bent frame, a little bit bigger frame. I'll just compare them to the Tartar Kubies. Different shape, but still a 4-bend pattern, which makes for a really easy harp to adjust as far as harps go. Really nice gaps on this. Gaps are pretty tight. Let's check the compression. I'll see if I can see it on the screen here. Keep my hand out of the way. Compression. Ooh. It's pretty decent compression, especially for like a harp that's more value priced. A flat 2, which is a G2 sharp. Nice sparkle. Really good play. I'm getting some clicks on there. I think I'm putting a little bit too much pressure. So that's another harp you want to watch. Not putting too much pressure up against it because you are going to close the gaps because these little guys are gapped super tight and the frames aren't really thick, but for the tone I'm getting out of them for a more affordable harp, they're really nice. This one here, I cleaned off 4 of them because I just have such good faith in the Babaev harps. This one has near perfect compression. Recurved trigger. I see there's a little bit of solder in there. Perfect G2. well, 3 cents above G2. Anything within 5 or 6 cents of G2, whether above or below, I call it perfect. I can get a little bit of outward play on it, but this is more, since it has a recurve trigger, it's more for inward play. I really want to keep it in my collection, but I've got so many melodic harps in G2. I probably won't keep it because I want to keep a more affordable melodic harps for people. That one's really nice to play. We'll play a few more of these harps, and then we'll get into the harps from the Saha. Is it Saha or Saha Republic? Correct me if I'm wrong. Let's play a couple more of the Babs. What's this one? This one's got pretty tight gaps, pretty decent compression. Oh, it's an F2. That's what it is. F2 hits my hits a pleasure center in my brain when I play it. When I hear it, I'm just like, oh, I love that sound. The F2. It's kind of like middle. It's down in the mid range, but it's getting high there. It's upper high. Not as loud as the G2. Not as stiff either. That's really nice. I really enjoy that. That trigger, a little bit different trigger shape on that, a little bit taller. Really clean bell ring. Really buttery feeling reed. I really like the flexibility of that. Kind of subdued in volume, not nearly as loud as those G2s were. Let's play the one more. Now, there were lots of Babaev and Vakitov that came in. I'm not going to sit here play every one of them because a lot of them are in similar tunings. Here we have this one here. We'll play the last one we're going to play of the Babs. Ooh, that's a little bit stronger of an F2. Ooh. That's one where it requires a little bit more delicate of a ham, a little bit more subdued pressure as well, because it will close the gaps. Now, I did grab 3, I cleaned off 3 of these Vakitov Tartar-Kubis. I think, I'm betting D2, E2. So we'll just start off with this one, the large Kubis from Tartar by Vakitov. Still similar looking trigger. This one is out more at an angle. It's not recurved. It's still got the teardrop style. Ooh, nice. Let's check the gaps. Gaps are good. Gaps are legit. Thicker frame. When you go from the standard to this one, actually I'd say this one's probably closer to 3/16, and this is closer to a little bit smaller. So yeah, thicker, bigger frame. 4 cents above D2, so it's a D2 440 hertz. Yeah, I'm getting good play in both directions, which isn't uncommon for harps in the mid-range. Really good bell ring. I'm getting a tad bit of crackle in the end, in the decay. Yeah, good play, Good sound. Probably not the bell ring was really good. Not the loudest bell ring for a D2 harp. Little to no saturation. I'd say it's almost unsaturated because I was only getting that crackle in the decay. Let's try another one. Really nice gaps on this one. Oh man, let's see if I can pick up the compression. Watch that white line there. Watch it. Let me make sure I'm holding it straight. Watch it disappear. Disappears evenly. I really like that. We have the recurve here in the teardrop shape, or a smash teardrop. That's a D2. That's a stronger D2. Really breathy. It's got a crackliness I'm feeling in the back pressure of it. A little bit more of a squeal than the other one. Oh, that one's different. That's probably the one we were just playing. That one, the first one I played, more precise or more clear of a bell ring. Whereas this one's got more of a squelch to it. So yeah, each harp has its own strengths. On the first one, I lean toward more working that really nice clean bell ring and showcasing that. On this second one, same note, D2, has more of a squelch, has more of a almost like a howl or a snarl to it. And it's got a good bell ring. With the really exaggerated recurve trigger, I'm doubting it's going to play well outward. Actually, that's doing okay. Yeah, so I'm giving high marks to both the Babaev and to the Vakitov. They're both good instruments, so it's good to see like makers like Babaev, because normally his harps are high priced, long wait times, rare finds when you can get them. It's good to see that he's also producing some value priced harps with really good sound out of them. E flat 2, it's this one I'd say is untuned, or almost like what I call a 432 hertz D2 sharp. Let's see here. Good strong sound. Compression on it is really, really good. So Vakitov, he knows his stuff. He makes quite a few harps, but he really knows how to dial in the gaps, really knows how to get good quality sound. I'm going to switch my tuner over to 432 hertz. You just hit the, down in the lower corner here, you hit this. I go from 440 to a 432 hertz scale. Be sure to hit done twice or it won't change. And that's going to pick up stuff in that. And what I like is I can find harps in any, or find out what any scale is. When I got those Haretninov that were in 444 hertz scale, you can switch on over to that. Let's see where this one is. About 7 cents below an E flat, which is a D2 sharp and 432 hertz. You can probably bend this a slight bit and hit a D2 sharp 432 hertz. But anyways, how's the sound? Strong sound. But since we're D2 sharpish, in general, a lot of your harps by the same maker in D2 sharp are going to be a little bit louder than their harps in D2. As you go up in tone, it's easier to make the harp louder. But that isn't always true. A harp's always a sum of its parts, so everything affects everything on the harp, which is a good quote. I think I got that from Burtsev, said that. Kind of a haunting squelch to it. Good bell ring, a touch of a in the decay of it. Good bell ring, got a good haunting overtones and squelch going on there. I really like that. So let's move on to the harps from the Saha Republic. In the past, I've oftentimes referred to the harps from these makers as Yakutia, but I do not believe the people of that region refer to it as Yakutia. I think they refer to it as the Saha Republic, and I'm not going to play every single one, but I tried to get one out of every category. Let's start with these. These are by Zhizhanov, and you'll notice a lot of times the makers from the Yakutia or the Saha Republic, those makers will make them, their cases are very light. They're oftentimes a softwood, and they're always tip up. In their culture, they believe if harps are facing downward, it is an insult to them. So they're made for carry, displayed upward. I display some harps downward here. I apologize if that offends anybody. It's just very practical way of storing them for me. Let's see here. I did wash all these with warm soapy water. Nice case. A lot of times they're inlaid with velvet or some type of fabric. And then the harps by makers from here are most often always, even the lower priced harps from Saha Republic, from the Yakut makers, they're oftentimes really good. But any harp you get from these makers, it's going to be a little bit higher in price. The fit and finish, this is probably a forged instrument. However, it looks like it was machine made. It's that precise. The reed on most of your harps from this region, look at that. It looks like it's a part of the frame. It's totally blended in there. The gaps on this, we're going up in price, so gaps are getting crazy tight. Gaps on this are, well, jeebus. That is so tight. When I went to compress them, I'm like, it's pretty much already compressed. Let's see where we're at here. Let's see. I'm going to switch back over to 440. Oftentimes, harps from these makers are not in Western tuning scales. That does not affect quality at all, but I'm about 20 cents above a C2 in 440 hertz scale. Very saturated, very aggressively loud is what I'm getting first off. And it's going to be louder. A harp that's gapped like this is going to compress more air. It's going to cause more sound. Kind of robotic. A little bit of saturated, a little touch of snarl. Really easy to make this one snarl, actually. Really breathy. Harp like this, you're going to have to use good technique. You're going to be having to be plucked on a straight plane, loud, sensitive, really killer sounding harp. I'd say not strictly melodic. It's got some saturation. It's got a lot of sound. Powerful sound is what I'd call this one. And this one, the actual tongue doesn't fit down in there. It fits upright, and then it has a little fence built around it. Necklace carry case. This is like a suede leather, but I do believe it's probably reindeer suede. These are ones you don't want to get real rough with. They will wear out over time, and you'll be replacing them. But yeah, that is probably reindeer leather, which is what they have there and at the top of the world. Let's get into the Sheplev. I've always really liked the Sheplev. I think I have one in my collection. I've seen medium. I've seen big. These ones sent this time when I ordered the bigs are the largest I've ever got from Sheplev. So let's see where we're at here. These are tip up. Probably what I'd say a reindeer leather or reindeer suede. I think if it was deer here, we'd call it buckskin, but I don't know what the technical term would be for reindeer. Large harp. This harp is, I don't know if I have a measuring stick. I do have a measuring stick. A plastic measuring stick. Let's see here. It is about, tip to tip, it's about 12 millimeters or 4 3/4 inches for us Americans here. I'm seeing really tight gaps. Really good compression. A long embouchure. And a big harp. It's a big instrument. B1 flat, which is A1 sharp, 440 hertz scale, perfectly tuned to a Western note. Upper medium stiffness, long sustain. What quality would that be? It's almost like as I'm playing it, there's like an airy quality to it. Yeah, I don't have to play a harp anymore. That's a good harp. That's a good instrument. It has its own characteristic that's not common in harps that I played before. Only it has the same feel as like some of the deep bass Gogolev have. A very interesting quality. I quite like that. Not the loudest harp in A1 sharp I've ever played by far, but like one of the more interesting feeling ones. Gogolev is who that reminded me of the most. Let's play this one here. There's another one of the Shepelev. Is it Shepelev or Sheplev? I'm not sure. My pronunciation on Russian names is here and there. We have same style, just scaled up version. This is probably a forged instrument. You look at the edges of the crimp. They're very good at doing their crimps. Forged, I would say, although it doesn't look forged, it looks more like it was made by a laser, like a machine, but it's just that precise. Good tight gaps. Decent compression, slight relief at the end. All the things I like to see. A little bit shorter of a trigger than that bass one was. Nice, perfect loop. This is when I make my harps, this is my favorite shape to make, is just perfect loop because I get the best slide in both directions. D flat negative 30 cents, which that would put me closer to 432 hertz scale. And these harps, a lot of your makers from the Saha, they're not trying to hit Western notes. That's not part of what they do. Yeah, it's a D flat, which is a C2 sharp 432 hertz scale. So this one is tuned to a scale to the less common 432 hertz scale. Really nice, really clean. Not super, super loud, but that one really is a nice harp to play. I really enjoy that one. We'll play one more of the Shepelev, and then we'll wrap it up because I only washed off so many of these. And these are going to be with Porky Miller at theharper.com, and he's sending all these out. We have one more of this style, of the Shepelev. I do plan on trying to keep more of a stock of harps from the Saha. They've been hard to get. Sourcing them has been interesting. So, yeah, we'll see if we can continue to keep harps like this in stock at theharper.com. Perfectly round loop. I like that. It's never a bad thing, in my opinion, unless you were to make it huge. But, yeah, nice tight gaps, decent compression, and just a really good... These harps by these makers, they really put a lot of pride in it. Really good fit and finish. They are just polished, so smooth. Okay, I'm in 432 hertz scale, and I was 30-some cents above, so that's going to put me close to a 440 hertz scale. Now, when I started playing harps, I had absolutely no idea what a note meant, what notes sounded like. So I was always asking Mark Poss at mouthmusic.com, which I don't know if it's even open anymore because Mark Post did retire. Like, hey, what's a D2 sound like? What does a G2 sound like? So he'd get on the phone and he'd play the harp for me. So more you play harps, more you listen to them, more you get into them. And one thing that I've been doing is I'll play a harp, I'll try to guess what note I think it's near, and then I'll look at it, playing it on the tuner. Now, when you're playing harps, let's just see if we can do a quick tutorial on using tuners. We'll see if we can do it. We'll see if this works. This is an experiment. This may not work. Okay. That's D flat, which is the same as C2 sharp, 432 hertz scale. Now, I'm not going to move my tongue up and down. I'm not going to do a lot of breathing. I'm not going to go, which kind of confuse it. I'm going to strike it and let it ring out. Breathing, just D flat. Let's see if we can figure another one here. Do, do. G2. So that's a good thing that's been helping me at figuring out what notes are and just helping train my ears. I'll play the harp. I'll try to guess in my head what note I think it's near, and then I'll look and I'll see where we're near. We'll play this one last Shepelev. Velvety, airy sound like all the Shepelev I played so far. Good bell ring, pretty decent decay. Yum, 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 yum. La, 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 la. Low, 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 low. Yeah, good sound, good sensitivity. Liking everything I've heard out of these harps. Anyways, we're going to wrap it up with that. There was a link earlier in the video. There's a link down below in the description to theharpery.com where you can find some of these harps. Like the harps from the Saha are going to be on the Khomus, Khomus page, and then the other harps will be, the rest of them were Russian Vargan. Anyways, we're going to wrap it up with that. I'm going to end by playing the Babaev. And I don't know if I'm saying it correctly. Babaev. It's like Bygano, but Babaev. And anyways, his name's not spelled in our letters. It's spelled in Cyrillic. But we're gonna get back into it. I love y'all. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe for more harpery. Make sure to keep your harps clean, keep them dry, keep them all. But most of all, be good to each other. I love y'all. Harp out. Oh man, that harp screams. With